Welcome back here at ShaloTek. We're doing another Meet the Operator, this time with the new stranger. So stranger, what is your name? And let us know an interesting fact about yourself.
I'm Matthew Volker. I'm a CNC machinist here. I'm also the shift lead here. I've been doing machining for about 6 years, and cutting various other parts for different types of gun manufacturers and making different parts for different types of firearms. And I enjoy what I do.
How long have you worked here with us at ShaloTek?
ShaloTek, I've been here for almost 5 months now.
Have you always kind of stuck in the manufacturing of firearms space, or have you branched out a little bit?
It's mostly been firearms, but I mean, I've also done some, I guess what you call bending with some machinery for various other, for another company, making tractor parts and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm open to anything.
How did you end up being the shift lead for second shift?
Showed up, started doing my work, took my work very seriously, and then I was approached about it and asked if I would be interested in that, just based on how I am and how I performed and my mannerisms.
What would you say is your favorite part about your job as shift lead and the company itself here?
My favorite part about this one is the hours. It's 4 days a week. I get my long 3-day weekends. The best part about this, working specifically inside here, is that I'm always busy. I'm never standing, or it's just always go, go, go.
What would you say, on the flip side of that, is the least favorite part of your job?
If I had to throw something like that as far as least favorite, it's when I don't have everybody show up, when I'm counting on them, and I'm having to do a whole lot more. But it's okay, it works out.
So if your job came with a warning label, what do you think that warning label would say?
Be prepared.
So you've mentioned that you've worked in a few different machine shops. What's it like here working at ShaloTek?
What's it like here compared to them? One, it's user-friendly. It's thermostatically controlled. There's air conditioning here when I need it. Other places, it was extremely hot and actually dehydrating. So the environment here is perfect for what I want to be doing. And I don't have a desire really to even think about looking at something else, because everything's provided that I need here.
Other than kind of like AC and like climate control, were there any major differences between our processes compared to other companies?
Well, absolutely. The components that we produce here are much smaller. They're not big, they're not heavy, they're not going to crush you if they fall. And they have their own little intricacies that you have to deal with, but I love it.
What would you say a normal shift here looks like for you, or does it change every day?
On a normal basis, it's pretty consistent, but it can change very rapidly based on the demands and what ShaloTek needs to do. Priorities change. Something else becomes the priority, so we got to put that first before the other ones. It can change.
What would you say is a big skill or trait that you've kind of picked up on either in another job or just throughout your life that helps you in your day-to-day here?
Well, the trait that I have is basically it's a good work ethic. I like to show up. I get into what it is that I'm doing. You gotta like what you're doing in order to be here. If you don't like what you're doing, you're not gonna fit.
So now that we've kind of gotten a little bit of a look into you and your job here at ShaloTek, we're gonna dive super into you and your job. So how does second shift compare to first shift? Are there any major differences other than time?
The difference is, well, my shift, it's a smaller manpower. There's not as many individuals, and my team and I, we have a more amount of equipment that we run. Instead of it being 1 or 2, we're usually averaging 3 or 4 machines apiece. And everybody's got to work together, and we're always helping each other throughout so that we can keep everything going. Because again, we're a smaller shift, that's all, smaller manpower.
So with the kind of time shift, do you ever have issues like staying perky, or do you have any tips on how you stay perky throughout the night?
Absolutely not. There's no difference. I mean, no, like I said, not at all.
Would you say you have extra responsibilities now that you're shift lead, or has that really changed your job between operating and shift lead?
I know I have extra responsibilities as a shift lead because I've got to make the final decisions because nobody else is here to make them. And so outside of that, No, not necessarily as far as hands-on, because I'm still running equipment too at the same time.
Would you say you have a favorite task or machine here in the shop?
If there's a favorite machine, honestly, way down here on the end, I like the MAM. I like operating the MAMs, and of course I'm ecstatic we got a second one in here. Can't wait.
So other than the MAM, I believe it's a 72 with the 35 pallets, what else do you run here at ShaloTek?
I run it all. The only thing I haven't ran back here is some of the original equipment machines that started with ShaloTek in the very beginning.
So where does your hand kind of come in, since you have so many kind of machines and people to manage? Where does your touch come in on the like machinist side versus say the more shift lead side?
All right, on the machining side, I get more responsibilities. I get to change the tools out. I can put offsets in. I can do other things that's required that not your standard operator is allowed to do. We keep that kind of limited just to a few hands. That way there's consistency in fixing them and everything. Other than that, not a whole lot more.
With all the machines here at ShaloTek that run like day in, day out, all month, all week, what's the kind of maintenance you guys have to do on your machines to keep them running?
Oh, well, we do daily maintenance. We always check our oils. We always check our coolants. If you don't have the right coolant in there, your machine's not going to operate. So just those small little things right there like that, coolant, yeah, oil, and keeping it clean.
Is there a way that you can tell something is off with your machine when you run it, or how does that kind of
Absolutely. Your different tools make different sounds, and when you've got a drill bit that's going bad, you can definitely hear it 9 times out of 10 before it actually goes. And so when you can hear that noise, you can respond quicker and save damage from being done to anything.
What would you say is the most important part of your job? Let's do shift lead and then operator.
Mindset. You got to be into your work. You got to be focusing on what you're doing. It's very easy for someone to become complacent, and once you do that, the mistakes happen and it just trickles on down the line.
How do you battle kind of being complacent or becoming complacent in your shift?
I stay busy. I don't sit. I'm always doing something, and there's always something you can be doing. Even when your machines are running, you can still be doing something else like cleaning, maintenance, things of that nature, or restocking components or anything like that. Just stay busy and makes the time go by anyway.
So I know some people here have said there's a witching hour here at ShaloTek, normally around 10 to midnight. Would you say the machines go through like different moods or act differently at different times?
That's funny that you asked that. On second shift, honestly, towards the end of the night, it's usually that 8th hour. If something goes wrong, that's where it is, you know. And it's kind of like when everybody else is asleep, you know. And when you're calling for help or whatever, you're gonna have to wake somebody up if you need, you know, a technical question answered. So yeah, the later part of the shift.
What would you say is the most common problem you run into during your time? Is it mostly having to wake someone up to fix something or something?
The most common problem is tool changes. Tools break. Tools that we have set on the machines have life counts. Sometimes you have to change them out because they've expired. And that's really not a problem. It's just a common occurrence. It's a natural thing.
If your machines were turned into people, what would their biggest complaint be?
Wow. Being loaded properly. Being loaded properly. If we can get that mastered, then there'll be no problem.
What would you say about your time here at ShaloTek? Has that helped you grow as a person in any way, or have you evolved kind of as you worked here?
Well, the fact that they gave me the leadership responsibility, it makes me more of a conscious person, and it even shows when I'm out with my family outside of work. You know, I just pay attention to other things. I'm more aware of my surroundings. It just keeps me focused on everything around me now.
So since you seem to be here for the long haul, what do you want your 5 years to look like, or like 5 years in the future to look like here at ShaloTek?
I would say in the next 5 years, I know there's some ideas that's been tossed about up front. If those ideas can come to fruition, I'm hoping to be involved with a possibility of making a firearm out here and everything later on. That's what I really want to do, and I hope to really see it come true.
Sounds good. Thank you for spending this time with us, and hope to see you around.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.